Hi friends, good morning. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, I am filming from Zone 8B in the Pacific Northwest. Um, Please excuse my voice. I've been a little bit sick recently. I haven't really felt that I want to do any sort of cooking videos or anything like that, so I figured we would just do a chit chat today and talk about the garden plan for 2024. I have a plan. It's not super elaborate, but it's kind of fun to go through sometimes. I like to watch these videos of other people um, because it kind of gives you some ideas. And I don't know, sometimes it's fun to see like the inner workings of people's minds. So when I do plan my garden, I am more of an Excel person than hand drawn, just because I use Excel all the time, so it's kind of like second nature to me, and it's really organized and very neat and clean, and doesn't use paper, which is nice. So everything I have is in this Excel here, right here. So as you can see, I just kind of make individual squares based on each square foot. So as you can see, 2024, I'm looking at 4 raised beds that are 4 feet by 8 feet long. And as a matter of fact, this one that's all blue over here is actually not yet built. So I think there's a video going to come out on that, because we'll probably build that bed with you. They're going to be exactly the same as my other 3 that I already have. Yeah, so we'll build those together, and in total we will now have 4, which is really exciting. So as an overview, this year I plan to grow in those 4 raised beds along 3 fence lines and in my back alley. And also, part of my front garden I want to redo this year. I want to do what's called my inconspicuous edible garden. So we'll just start on these back 4 raised beds, because they're kind of probably the best laid out so far. So what I've got over here is, everywhere you see a flower is a square foot of flowers. I have to really force myself to add flowers to my garden because I'm so edible dense that I kind of need to remind myself to add more flowers for the pollinators and for beauty. So sometimes it can be a little bit tricky for me to get the flowers in here. Anywho, so in this bed you'll see I have some flowers on either side. I like to put a zucchini on the edge of the bed because I did this last year and it was really pretty. The zucchini just kind of fell over the edge of the bed and made this like beautiful, almost like bursting array, and it just had these gorgeous zucchinis coming off of it. It was just really pretty to look at, like from my window and stuff. So I like that. And then this year, because I have the entire extra bed, I kind of want to do it all tomatoes. I'm kind of thinking I might just go a little bit crazy because I didn't feel like I had enough tomatoes last year, and I got into canning after gardening season last year, and I'm kind of excited to do a lot of canning projects, so I think I'm going to try to add more tomatoes. Between each bed, so there's a fence along above these beds here. So I want to do a little like 1 foot arch between each of these beds, so from squash to squash, and then from this 2 cuke to 2 cuke, and then 2 cuke to squash. I want to have little arches to kind of give some visual interest for my window. And because the fence is just right there, it's not going to block any sunlight for any other plants, so I think that's kind of a smart idea. And that's part of the reason why I put the tomatoes over here, is because they're all indeterminate. So they're all going to be staked. I think I'm going to stake them. I don't think I'll Florida weave them, but I'll stake them, and because they're so vertical, they'll be out of the way, not blocking the light from the other 3 beds. So I did kind of take into consideration height. Yeah, so squash, on this arch, I think it would be really pretty to have a squash arch. I've always kind of wanted one. I have so many different squash plants. I have the candy roaster, Georgia candy roaster. I have patty pan squash, but I can't remember if they vine or if they're more like a zucchini. Can't remember. And I also have honey nut, so I think it can be fun to play with whatever. I didn't put the specific variety, but some squash on a gorgeous arch right here I think would be nice. And likewise, I put a cucumber here. I like to put suyo long cucumbers in my garden because they're heirlooms and they're really tasty. So I put this here because I'm kind of hoping that as it grows, I can also throw it up the arch here. It'd be kind of nice. And then I'm gonna kind of reserve the space for pumpkins. It says 5 pumpkins. That seems a little bit dense to me. But I guess I'll see once we get there. Yeah, we'll see. And then before pumpkins, like in a few weeks, I'm going to plant spinach directly out there so I get that patch doing something while I wait for the pumpkins. And then, yeah, I kind of like the pumpkins being here because they can sprawl out the edge of the bed and it can be really beautiful. I'm growing celery for the first time this year. Not the first time. The first year I ever did gardening, I grew celery, and I hated every second of it. They didn't do anything. They were so tiny, and I just didn't feel like it was worth my time. I've actually never grown them again. So this is the first year I'm getting back to it. And not only that, but I got pink celery. So, and like to give me enough interest to want to try to grow celery again. Because I just think that growing a lot of celery could be great to like freeze them for like use in anything, like soups. I make a lot of soups now. Over here I have cucumbers again, suyo longs, that's all I have. I got basically no cucumbers last year, so you can tell that I'm really trying to get more cucumbers this year. I like cucumbers. I'm a cucumber eater. And then over here, I'm going to do our onion patch. So if I had to like tell you three things I really want to do well in this year, it's onions, garlic, and peppers. I feel like I really want to do well on those. And so I've left a big space for onions. I'm growing a new variety. I'm going to try to pull out all the stops to make these onions do something because I have just had the worst luck every single year with onions. But this is my year. Down here I want to do lettuce, a lot of lettuce. I've always wanted to do my lettuce in like diagonal rows of different colors because I think that's really pretty, but every year I try it doesn't really work out. We'll see. Okay, and then this bed here, I want 2 cucumbers each going over the trellis with some beautiful flowers in the middle. I'm kind of thinking like maybe zinnias here or something because zinnias are so pretty. And then you'll see I have this blank spot here. I couldn't think of anything to put here. I was getting kind of frustrated because I was like, oh my gosh, I think I've actually accommodated everything for once. And so I've decided that I'm going to leave this blank because every year I have like something that I want to plant and I'm like, oh no, I have nowhere for this. It's not in the plan. So I don't know what to do with it. And so this will be really awesome if I grow too much of something. I'm like, I really want to grow these and I can throw them in here. However, I can definitely foresee this becoming like a leek patch or something. So we'll see. Over here I have radishes. I want to grow, I think, more in like rows this time and like do consistent harvests and resowing them. I have lots of different radish varieties now, so that'd be kind of fun. Yeah, so big spot for radishes. Here, my strawberries are already out there. This will be their second year. I have, I think the side is all June-bearing strawberries, and these ones are all ever-bearing. I have a pale pink strawberry. It's called Flamingo variety, which I'm kind of excited to see if they'll work out this year. And then I also, like, last year had an amazing variety that even on its first year, it just started producing like crazy. It's called, Seascape. They were Seascapes, I think. And they were huge and they were beautiful. So I'm very excited because I have a lot of strawberry plants out there. In this bed, I have garlic. And it's doing well. I'm kind of hoping this is like the best year for garlic ever. So I'm excited. And then July 1st, when I harvest them, I will plant out my beans, my dragon tongue beans after that. So that would be a nice productive patch here. I like that the dragon tongues are also bush beans, so they won't block any light. So that's nice. And then on this first bed over here, I have squash, and then I have a zucchini in the corner. 2 zucchinis is plenty. Is plenty. Like I had 2 zucchini plants last year, and it was great. It was they all got eaten, nothing got wasted, and if I had another plant, I think it would have been too much. In the middle here, I threw my yard-long beans because I think I might be able to like stake them up or something here, and because I just didn't know where I was going to put them, so they're there, and we shall see. I have a little beet patch. I'm trying gold beets this year because I'm actually not a fan of beets. And I hear that if you don't really like beets and you try a golden beet, that they're often sweeter, better tasting. So I'm going to give that a try. Over here I have carrots, love growing carrots. Yeah, can't wait. I'm going to try cabbages, I think, this year because I now make my own sauerkraut. So I think having some cabbages in this bed could be nice. Although this just, I know it's like a square foot per cabbage, but this just doesn't feel like enough space for like a decent sized cabbage. But I guess we'll see. And then over here I put watermelon. This is wishful thinking. I've grown watermelons successfully here, but I've lost them all to animals. So I didn't actually ever get to try any of the watermelons I grew. So I got some watermelon seeds in the M.I. Gardener grab bag, so it kind of felt like it was destiny that the universe wants me to grow some watermelon apparently. So I'll try, and then I'm hoping they can kind of spill over the edge of the bed over here, and it could be really pretty. If you haven't seen my seed haul video, I will put it up in the card here so you can watch it if you're interested. And then down here is going to be my herb bed. I had a couple herbs survive. Some of them I'm going to keep in pots, like mint, of course. My sage is in a pot, so it might just stay there too. But anything I get new, I'll just throw in here. Ideally, I would like to have like an herb bed much closer to the house and just dedicated herb bed. Never change it, but it's not in the stars this year, so this is the plan here. And then I'll throw a nice little flower in the corner, maybe like my straw flowers, or even the nasturtiums. The nasturtiums are really pretty in the corners because they can cascade out and just give a lot of color. Yeah, so I think I might do that. This is kind of like the visual focal point from my window. Like I can see that corner right now. So it's kind of nice to have beauty in that corner, so I'll do that. One thing to note too is that my beds are built with I can't remember the dimensions, but it's like a 5x5 piece of lumber in the corners, and so I lose a fair amount of my corners. So some of these might not work out the way I planned because I lose so much space in the corners. But okay, moving on, I want to look at this top row here. So this is kind of like my fence line from the edge of my garden beds. I have this like open fence line that I think could be quite nice to reserve for my peppers and just do the great pepper experiment. And if I absolutely hate growing this ground, I'll just replant the grass next year. It'll be fine. But this is Pepperpalooza. I secretly hate growing peppers. They are so finicky. I don't know what it is. Every time I've grown peppers, they've been tiny, or I just can't grow them at all. I planted shishitos last year, and I think I got 2 shishitos all year from like 6 plants. It was kind of embarrassing. But what I'm doing here is I've got my paprika peppers. These are the ones I really want to succeed more than anything else. So they're close to my water source. They are in a nice, bright, sunny, warm location. So I'm kind of hoping I'm setting them up to win. There's going to be one paprika plant per of these squares. So that's like 8 paprika plants. And I'm hoping to make some good paprika powder out of these using my Excalibur dehydrator, which is linked in the description if you want to see it. And then here I want to do Jimmy Nardello's. I hear good things about them because they're super prolific, and that would be awesome. I also see they do really well in colder climates, so I don't know, we'll see. These over here, jalapenos, I want these to do well too because I want to make some cowboy candy that's not spicy. And so there's 8 jalapeno plants there. And then here I have my poblanos. I decided to grow them. I was kind of on the fence if you watched my seed haul because they were in my gardener's grab bag. And so I've decided to throw them in here, a couple, not the full 8, but there's a couple in there, and if they're great, then next year. I have a couple shishitos here because I actually overwintered or attempted to overwinter my shishitos. I can't tell if they're coming back. I've actually never overwintered peppers before, so I can't tell if they're alive or not, or they're going to come back. So I guess we'll see. And if they do, then I'll throw them here. And if not, I think I still have shishito seeds, so I might be able to do them regardless. Down here, I have bell peppers, which I've tried growing before. They did not work for me, but I'll try again because they came in the grab bag, so I'll give it a shot. Down here, I have cayenne. It'd be nice to make cayenne pepper, but we don't use a lot of cayenne pepper, so I don't think we need a lot. I think 4 plants is plenty. And then, so I've decided to also grow the Anaheim peppers from the grab bag as well. So everything I said I wasn't going to grow in my seed haul, I think I've decided I'm going to grow. This is Pepperpalooza. Let's hope that this does something for us, and if it doesn't, I don't know. This all gets lots of sun, it's super warm, I'll give them lots of water, make them nice and happy, and hopefully everything will work out. This is a different fence line. It is not in relation to how this fence line and the garden beds are. It's somewhere else. But what I got here is a little array of peas in blue. I have nice pea towers that I've made, so I'll have 2 spots, 2 square feet of peas, and then between them and the pale pink, I'm going to plant different potato varieties. And honestly, if my harvest for potatoes this year is not good, I don't think I'll ever grow potatoes again, because why? I mean, the amount of potatoes I put in the ground, I've never gotten a decent return on them, and potatoes cost nothing at the grocery store, and I can find them local, so I don't have to worry about that either. So I don't know, I'm giving potatoes one last shot because they're just like, they don't make economical sense after this. But my plan is to do like Warba for early potatoes, and then a Kennebec I want to try because apparently they do well in my climate. And then I actually got some Oka like tubers from a fort visit I did, and the guy gave me a bunch of them, and I still have them, and I found them again, and I was like, oh, I want to try growing these, even though I have no idea what they taste like, but I'll plant those as well, so I'm kind of excited. And then these little brown squares, between them, I'm going to grow the sugar beets. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know how big sugar beets yet, but maybe 4 per square feet. And then I'm hoping we can make some sugar together. So that's kind of my Excel. I used to have another plan in here, and I don't know what happened to it when I was looking for it. It completely vanished. However, lucky me, I took a picture of it. So I do have some sort of copy. It's going to be really hard to kind of show you guys because it's kind of blurry and stuff, but I'll give it a shot. So what we're looking at here is my grandmaster plan of what I'm calling my inconspicuous edible front garden. So I can allow the front to still look beautiful year round, lots of blooms, lots of evergreen foliage, but have plants here and there that are edible, either like their tubers, their leaves, their flowers, they actually have fruit, whatever, just to kind of have fun with it. And I planned this maybe last summer, and I've been kind of acquiring plants, and nothing is out there, so we can plant this all together. You'll see there's some spring plants in here that will not be blooming this year because they're not in the ground. So I think tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next year will be its all of its glory, because it'll have all of its blooms if we execute this year. So what you're seeing on the left hand side here is a couple of columns of information that correspond to these two squares over here. This first square is my garden, and these colors correspond to the plant over on this column. And then this is just me playing with the bloom colors, because I didn't want like all the purple to be in one area. I wanted a nice mix of the different colors. So you can kind of ignore this second square over here, and we'll just focus on this one. So my columns, this is just an index value. You can ignore that. This is all the plants in a corresponding color. I took in consideration their heights that they can grow up to, so that the tallest plants are up here and the shortest ones are down here. And I took in consideration when they flower, because I want something to be in bloom from early spring until fall. So that's there. And then the flower colors, or foliage colors even. And then when they fruit, if they happen to fruit, and if they're evergreen. I didn't quite finish this column. If the plant is edible or not, if I have a price list on them, and then I actually have no idea what this column was before. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just kind of go through it. Maybe what we'll do is we'll start at the short side and we'll work our way up. I just want to point out a couple of things. This garden bed is 8 by 10, I believe, and I have a staircase over here. And then on the other side of the stairs, there is another garden bed, which I do not have a plan for. So I might just leave it this year. We might wing it. I don't know. But inside this, I have a sump. So it kind of just looks like a concrete pedestal. And what you'll notice is up here, there's another spot here. That's because this is where my water source is. And so I just want to put like a stepping stone here, like a 1 foot by 1 foot concrete tile, so that nothing blocks my water source. I can put a bucket down here and fill it up, or what have you. So essentially I want my faucet to then be split into two. I want one to hopefully hook onto a retractable hose, because we usually have lots of hanging baskets out front, so it would be nice to be able to water them with a retractable hose and not have a big messy hose. And then the other split would go into drip irrigation around this garden. This gray path here is actually meant to be a path. Nothing like super visible, just I don't want to plant in this area because I want to be able to get into this garden if I have to. So yeah, I was kind of just thinking about that. Anywho, so those are the main non-flower, non-plant features in here. But we'll start at the bottom. So these pale purples, I'm thinking of planting some crocuses down here, and I'm thinking I will do spring crocuses, fall crocuses, and I might actually throw some snowdrops in there too, just to give different color in early spring. It'll be really pretty. And then if the fall crocuses bloom, they're edible, they are saffron, so that would be really cool. These dark purple, these are carpet raspberries, so it's like an Arctic raspberry, low-lying ground cover plant that fruits. I actually have 4 of these. You can see there's actually 6 on the plant, so I need to pick up a few more, but they're there. These deep red ones here, these are going to be cranberry, so nice low-lying cranberry bushes. Excited for that because I love cranberry, and I actually just purchased those plants, so I'm excited to get those. This orange block here, this is a Swiss giant pansy. They are multicolored, but most importantly, they are edible. So nice edible flower. I think would really brighten up some salads and even some desserts would be nice. Okay, so this guy here is like a dark brown color. This is a daffodil. And you'll see there's some daffodils in other places up here and over here as well. This gives a nice spring color here. And moving on to the third row, these pale pinks on either side are dianthus. If I'm saying that correctly. I learned that dianthus flowers are edible, and it's such a pretty plant, to be honest. They're like, if you've never seen one or you're not sure what they are, give it a Google, or I can even throw up a picture maybe. I think they're so pretty, and I bought one. It's already in the garden, and I'm gonna get another one. They're so nice. This here, this bright cyan color, is red vein sorrel. I got the seeds from my gardener, so I'm going to grow them myself. Really pretty ornamental perennial plant that also happens to be edible. I actually, looking at this plan, am not too happy that I only have one, so I actually might throw one in the middle of this front here because they're beautiful. Beautiful show-stopping plants. This is echinacea. Echinacea's here, here, and over here as well. I'm going to do Echinacea purpurea so that I can use it for medicinal purposes. So I'm kind of excited about that. Those are all, most of them anyways, have already been purchased. They're waiting for my command. This here is a lily. I really like lilies. So I'm going to do some lilies here. This is tulips. Tulips are my favorite flower. It's probably because I'm a spring baby. I just love tulips. And the plan is in the square foot to have tulip bulbs that are a mix of colors and a mix of bloom time so that there's kind of always something going on. Last year I planted tulips on the edge of the garden in a line, and I hate that look. I realized I didn't like it because once the flowers are gone, they just look like ugly grass. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Anyway, so I'm going to do like a nice bunch of them and different colors and different bloom times to kind of extend the life of that. Pale pink here. I want a peony. I want a peony so bad. I think they are one of the most beautiful flowers on this planet. So excited to have peonies. Maybe use it for cut flowers. I don't know. Another Echinacea purpurea over here and another dianthus. There's our path. If we go on to this side here, this was a daffodil and another tulip here. This big purple square is meant to be a lavender bush. I kind of want to give it space to really grow and be a big lavender bush. And I can use lavender for many things, for edible purposes, but also like in soaps and other like cleaning supplies, what have you. So that's exciting. So the pedestal is here, or the sump, I should say. The sump is here. I wouldn't mind having something like in a pot on here just to give it something, but I don't know what yet. This big square is sage. Just a big sage. Sage is really pretty when it blooms too. It smells really nice, so like when you walk past this to go up the stairs, I'm hoping you get the smell of the sage, and above here is roses, so I think that could just be so wonderful, like so welcoming to anybody coming to the house. This is daffodils again. This deep blue is a black-eyed Susan. I have two black-eyed Susans in this garden, and I have the black-eyed Susans already, but I'm almost thinking I might switch them out for Jerusalem artichokes just to make them more edible. And Jerusalem artichoke flowers are so pretty too, so I don't know. This is Echinacea over here. This big yellow square is actually my mother's favorite flower that I want to grow. A whole bunch of crocosmia, I think is how you say it. And it's just like nice green blades of grass that can droop over the edge here, and they have really nice delicate orangey red flowers, and they always bloom around her birthday, so I always think of her. So I'm going to grow those here. And then up in the top here, I would like to grow an agastaki, which is good edible and medicinal, I believe, plant. I'm excited. They get kind of tall and big, but they're really pretty purple flowers, I think. Yeah, we've got the purple color here. So just nice. And then I was going to do a small little dahlia patch here. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I don't know how to stake them up without looking like an eyesore, though. I guess we'll see. This is a black-eyed Susan here, or Jerusalem artichoke. And then in this back corner, we have gladiolas. And I put the gladiolas in here because I have 101 gladiola bulbs. And they just really need something to like have a backdrop. They can't just be sort of freestanding like I had last year. They weren't so pretty. And I think as like a bunch in a cluster as a backdrop, they could be really pretty. So I've thrown them up there. Oh, I didn't talk about my favorite one. This big green patch here. This is going to be a pineapple guava. Pineapple guava is cold hardy. I can't remember what it's frost tolerant down to, but if you haven't seen it, you should look into it if you're curious. I got the last two that my local nursery had on for pre-order, so I got the last two. They are an evergreen shrub or tree, but I think you can prune them to be a shrub, and they're really pretty, ornamental. And then they have these really interesting pink flowers, pinky burgundy-ish flowers that are really beautiful, but they also apparently taste like cotton candy and they're edible. And then if you don't eat the flowers, you get fruit. You get guavas that taste like pineapple. They do, I believe, require cross-pollination, and so on the other side of the stairs in the garden, I would like to have a second pineapple guava, which I already have. And it'll just be nice and pretty, evergreen. Always have something growing in the garden, be kind of nice. Looks like they fruit in September, so that'll be wonderful. And it's a bright, sunny location over here too, so it'll hopefully do well, the water and the sun and everything. So yeah, I don't know, I'm really excited for pineapple guava. It's one of my most excited things I'm most excited for this year. I do have other garden space I don't have plans for, like one side of my house and then the other side of the stairs over here. But there's a few more things I do have plans for. They're kind of vague plans, but I do have a really pretty pergola that I think I would like to plant my passion fruit vine on one side. And on the other side, I think I will plant scarlet runner beans because they are perennials where I live. So I think the two of those on the pergola could be pretty, and I understand that passion fruit gets a little bit crazy, but it's not the sunniest location, so I'm kind of wondering, with the lack of sun and some pruning, it might do well. I don't know, it might do well to not grow so much, and if it does grow a lot, then lots of passion fruit this year. It's technically a maypop. So cold hardy passion fruit. And apparently you get fruit in the first year, so that could be really exciting if that's the case. To have guava and pineapple. Wow. But yeah, that's kind of the extent of my garden plans. And as always, I'm kind of I set these rules for myself, this plan for myself, but I might not follow them. And the only way to tell is if you stick around and follow along with the progress this year. But I'm really excited for gardening season. I think more this year than any other year, because I feel like everyone around me is excited for it because we had such a good year last year, but also because I have this YouTube channel now. So I feel like I'm excited to show you guys what's going on and everything. I can't wait to do like harvest videos with you guys and preservation videos with you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you for watching my video today. I'm so excited and grateful that you guys have taken time out of your day to watch me. And as always, your likes, shares, and subscribes mean the world to me. So if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, I would be completely honored. And until next time, I'll see you. Bye!